Welcome, my darlings, to my humble chateau. Please make yourself very comfortable. Relax your mind and release your imagination to me. I will bring you a story to entrance and entertain. Perhaps a frightening one. Perhaps a steampunk. Perhaps a bit of mythology. Anyway, sit back, enjoy, and subscribe to me. Today, I have a short one from Marcus Brook's lovely uncle again. A wonderful steampunk short called Down Below. "You, Stoker!" He halted, stood to attention, and saluted. "Sir?" Strictly speaking, as a supernumerary, I was outside the chain of command, and so the salute wasn't strictly necessary. But the Stokers were ultimate professionals, and, after a rather shaky start, her ladyship and I earned considerable respect from the crew. "Where's your suit?" I asked. "Locker, sir," he replied, as if that answered everything. "I'm sure it is," I countered, "but why isn't it on your body?" "Sir? We're about to engage the enemy. You should be properly attired." "But this one's cleaner, sir." He was staring at a spot just above my right shoulder, military blank as they come. I could see he was having some trouble suppressing a smile. "So we were going to dance, were we?" I regarded his spotless white overalls. Seems razor sharp. Hood folded perfectly under left epaulette. Mask clipped to the chest just so. A far cry from the Stokers of most ships, of course, and sharing nothing with them but a title and post in engineering, though that was completely but the highest of specialists. Respected, even admired, and paid well above grade to compensate for the risks. For all that, few people wanted to be one. "Regulations require it, damn it," I insisted. He raised an eyebrow in a manner that would be construed as insubordinate by most officers. But I was not most officers, of course, and he knew it. Besides that one eloquent gesture conveying more than any conversation permitted between such different ranks. Not only was I a supernumerary myself, and my presence either on the bridge or in the engineering spaces during an engagement somewhat of a gray area, regulation-wise, but everyone knew I was here with her ladyship, and that she'd be directing in fire control. That broke just about every rule in the book, and contravened pretty much all the customs outside of it, too. No one was complaining, of course. The whole ship, she knew she was the best field for tactical ballistics in the fleet, and her direction had taken Dreadnought's score from midfield to top of the list during exercises. But with intense competitive spirit existing in the fleet, that was a very closely guarded secret. But Commander Bromhead over in Devastation knew us quite well, and I strongly suspected he guessed the truth. Certainly I was on a sticky wicket, as far as moral superiority went, so I decided to resort to logic instead. "The ratings look up to you chaps. You need to set a good example." He wilted for a moment, then visibly stiffened his backbone, clearly deciding to tough it out. "Permission to speak freely, sir." "Granted." "At ease?" He planted his feet apart, slightly further apart, clasped his hands firmly behind his back, then hesitated. "Go on, Bagshot," I prompted, having read his name tag by now. "Well, it's like this, sir." He stalled again, then visibly summoned the nerve to continue. Then it all came out in a rush. The suits are murder down there, sir. His gaze flickered to my own jumpsuit, which, admittedly assisted by woolen underwear, had recently kept me fairly comfortable in the icy blast on deck. I mean, they're hot enough on normal days, but we're not tanked for cruise, are we? And we'll be going to flank and staying there. You know how hot the boilers get. I certainly did. I'd seen Brunellium boilers glowing a dull red in testing, and burnt myself on them more than once. I nodded once. And with the vents battened down, he shrugged. I could picture it. Only so much heat can be dumped into the lift tanks, even running battle mix. And the radiators outside the hull can only do so much, even here. I understood the problem, but still. Look, man, what will you do if we have to abandon ship? But, sir, I'm in engineering. As if that explained everything. What do you mean? We never get out anyway. We're down there, sir. Bottom aft end of the Citadel. He was warming to his theme. Clearly something was needing to be said. We're in the most protected part of the ship. That's fine most of the time, sir. But if the worst happens and we're either blown up or if the mag goes, boiled if the coolant fails, drowned or crushed if we hit the surface, and if the boiler's damaged, well, in that case, we'd rather die quickly, sir. Well, I understand that, but you've got an escape tube, haven't you? I've seen the hatch in the floor. Yes, sir. But if we're falling fast, it's impossible. And if we aren't, it's no use below 1,000 feet anyway. Well, don't leave it that late. Have to, sir. If we're trying to put down gently, the ship needs us all the way. And if you're ordered? No, sir. I'll stay at my post, sir. Clearly, I wasn't going to win this one. I decided to give up gracefully and let him have his way. Very well, then, I sighed. Carry on, but don't tell anyone I said so. Wouldn't dream of it, sir, he grinned. You're a brave man, Backshot. It's a pleasure to serve with you. The pleasure's all mine, sir, and his grin widened as if he'd been given a Victoria Cross. I suspected there's a good chance he would. Most likely posthumously. Good luck, then. Hope to see you on the other side. I extended my hand, after a moment's hesitation at the unprecedented flouting of protocol. He reached out his own and clasped it. As we shook, I detected an additional faint quiver in his own, and I understood. So quoth this raven. If you enjoyed this, my darlings, please visit Marcus's page and give him the once-over. Read his poetry and his stories. They're wonderful. And visit him on Twitter. Also, for your dear, dear Madam Raven, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I will comment back. You can also find me on Twitter and various other places you can find down below, because I can't think of them. Bye-bye, my darlings.